Hi there. I'm Anthony, and I'm with,
Kyland.
and we're here to watch another episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 2, Episode 20, Go Fish. It's the third to last episode this season, and I'm excited to see where they're going to take it now. Last episode was crazy. I think we both really enjoyed that one with, the people shooting all that. The ghost.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I had been saying I wanted to see a ghost episode, so they delivered.
Well, all right. Based off the title, "Go Fish," what do you think that this episode might be about?
First thing that comes to my head is like fish in the sea in the sense like, of dating. So like maybe Buffy is gonna be back on the market in some ways, or Buffy or Giles could too, because he doesn't have anybody. But it would be a little bit more surprising for Giles since he's so caught up on Jenny.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are pretty, have reason to not want to date probably right now since Giles just has lost somebody and Buffy's boyfriend turned evil and killed the person that Giles lost. But
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. But I mean, when I think of Go Fish, obviously I think of, I guess, the card game or whatnot. So
hmm
I guess maybe I'm wondering if this is gonna have something to do with that because I don't really remember. For those who don't know, I've seen the series before, but I remember like the big picture stuff, but I don't remember a lot of the specific episodes, at least just by title and a lot of the specific things. So let's go ahead and get into it. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 2, Episode 20, Go Fish.
Never seen a beachfront before.
Some new scenery.
What's Buffy doing?
Being depressed.
Off to the side, as always.
Had it coming to you, bro.
Chill, dude. Which of us are gonna take a little night dip down the beach, do we? Whatever.
Hey, let's get you a
No,
towel.
why don't you mind your own business?
Dude, what is that foulness?
That foulness. Why do they talk like
Hey,
this?
Dodd!
Then again, this guy got on a turtleneck, so I can imagine him being somebody that says, "What is that foulness?" Oh wow. It's a tattoo. What was that? I guess that's what the foulness was, though. But
Yeah.
I wonder what was Chris crawling in the sewer.
One. Good.
She's still teaching.
All good.
Wouldn't they
Nice.
get a long-term sub by now?
Yeah, really.
Sure. I like teaching.
Isn't that nice?
Does she not have
You're
school
a
to
team
go to
player, and I
herself?
like that.
Are they paying her? Like,
You're asking me to change his grade?
All I'm suggesting is that you recheck your figures.
so he's asking her to change his grade.
Slap in the face to every one of us who studied hard and worked long hours to earn our D's.
Throw some D's on it.
You know, when I'm in the vastness of the ocean, it's like I'm never alone.
The way
Have you
this
ever
guy
a woman named
talks.
Gertrude Ederle?
Yeah, I don't know. Something about him just.
No, I can't say that I have, Cam.
The
Woman to
vastness.
swim the English.
I'm comfy. I'm so comfy I'm nodding off, actually, which is why...
Are you wearing a bra?
That was a non sequitur.
Yeah, really.
I mean, tell me you haven't been thinking about this ever since last night.
Out of this car.
Oh my goodness.
Relax. I'm not going to hurt you.
Oh, it's not me
Yo.
I'm worried about.
Oh, you broke my nose!
And now here he goes.
Really?
I wasn't
You
the
know how
attacker,
he
Principal
is
Snyder.
about
I was the
freaking
attack.
swim
That's
teachers.
not how it looked from where I was standing.
I don't know
Yeah,
what happened.
swimmers.
I mean, first she...
Try to dress more appropriately from now on. This isn't a dance club.
Oh my gosh.
Meaning Buffy must not be on your list of privileges after all. Man, I love it when you guys mess with her.
Does Andrew just stand on his tiptoes?
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Well, what are you thinking about the episode so far?
It's a little weird.
In what way?
Or not even weird, but like I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a weak note to like go into the finale on. But I mean, it is just ramping up, so maybe I'm not like fully sold on the concept yet.
Is she reading that upside down? And the magazine just totally...
So, John,
That was an incontinuity error, or a continuity error.
you delved into the black arts and conjured up a hell beast from the ocean's depths to wreak your vengeance. Didn't you?
What? No.
Ooh, animal crackers in that.
Tell me about it. Girl acts like she's God's gift or something.
Who was she, the chosen one?
Well,
Just so happens, I'm recruiting.
What? So now he's. Oh man, that's crazy. So he just like turned a random dude.
no, he didn't turn
He's
it.
not concerned. But what? Didn't he just bite him?
Walk me home.
Well, you notice he stopped. Like he like kind of started. He started biting him, but then he stopped and was spitting it out.
Or maybe there was something in Gage's blood that Angel didn't like. Say, for example, steroids.
In their blood
Wow.
is what's attracting this creature to them.
And we went searching our fish monster.
That escalated
Zippo, we
quickly.
couldn't find any sea demon that. Oh. Oh, my.
Oh.
Now that, girls, is my kind of.
I'm undercover.
Not
Not
really.
under much.
Good, but the pages will probably get all wet.
Ah, snap. Here it comes.
This was a suicide mission, Xander.
Yeah, he really just put himself at the top of the list. Or not even at the top, but on the list.
You gotta love this undercover deal. 20 minutes in a hot room with a bunch of sweaty guys.
Where's Gage?
I don't know, he was right behind me, putting his sneakers on.
I feel like they just had Xander say that line because they were still not sure whether they were gonna make Xander or Willow gay. So that could have been like some Xander foreshadowing. She looked at him like, what am I gonna do with this?
What the heck?
Is another one growing out of him?
Yo. Is this a metaphor for what you'll become if you do steroids?
That's funny. Maybe. All right, well, yeah, that's pretty interesting. That is a pretty interesting way to look at that. So that would mean that each one of these guys that has died is one of those things walking around now, huh?
Yeah.
Which would be a lot to deal with.
Does that mean they have 3 of them at that point?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I like how they just slid off
Yeah.
the bellies.
They slithered away.
Good news is that it would appear that none of your team actually died.
But the bad news is, they're monsters.
How could this
I mean, the way their bodies burst
So
open, I
you
think they're
know.
pretty far gone.
You work so hard, you start to win.
So they're basically
suddenly.
dead. Giles is a pretty hands-on watcher. He'd really be out in the field.
Yeah, for real.
Well, we see why this was called Go Fish now, at least.
Aromatherapy. It's in the steam.
This has got to stop, Carl.
Oh,
Those poor
snap.
children.
So,
Quitter, we got no room for quitters in this
so you mean to
You
tell
even
me
understand what's happening? Listen to yourself.
Very.
they've been hotboxing this whole time?
Yes.
They're not lost.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and wait, are they down there? Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're about to pull up on her.
In this steroid gas so that the hospital's toxicology lab can develop an antidote.
So not cool they
Oh,
let
I'll talk
Xander
to
sit
Nurse
there without
Greenlee.
knowing what it
You're
was.
really getting into this interrogation.
For the win. To make my team the best they could be. Do you understand we have a shot at the state championship?
Does he think they're just gonna come out there as fish monsters in the state championship swim meet?
Just gonna feed me to him?
Well, they've already had their dinner.
boys have other needs.
What?
No one. Willow and
Oh
Giles
my
must have rounded up
gosh.
the rest of the swim team.
Oh my
Does women look
god.
scaly to you?
Did you see her
Of course
face?
it looks. I understand if you want to see other fish. I'll do everything I can to make your quality of life better.
That's not me.
So these monsters are just horny right now.
Wow, they really are just trying to get her.
Like, really?
I mean, what were they all just gonna share her?
Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how is that even gonna work? Buffy still tried to save him.
Those boys really love their coach.
What?
Oh my god. So wait, they're not killing him?
I don't think they're killing him.
You mean?
I was thinking
Okay.
that. I was like, I wonder if they are gonna, be like a hole is a hole. They're like Kanye West. They're gay fish.
I'm sorry.
Like that. And then all of them were just out there, just headed home. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. I do think it's funny when the episodes end like that, or like sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's interesting, where like the threat isn't really taken out. It's like there's still like a hint that it's still around, even though it's probably never gonna come up again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like kind of like that's kind of like how the X-Files ends a lot of their episodes. Like they didn't really solve the problem. It's just like at the end of the episode, you're like, oh dang, it's still around, but it's probably not gonna come back up. But yeah, wow. that was
episode. I don't know, man. There was a lot. There was a lot of different things going on in that one. Like, I guess even Angel was kind of like put off by the whole vibe. Like he tried to like. I guess when you said he was spitting it out, that did make sense. Like the steroids in his blood were just like. I initially thought he was spitting it out because of the chlorine.
Oh.
I was like, he must taste the chlorine still on his skin and be like, this is nasty.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think that he was spitting it out because of the steroids.
Well, wouldn't that be cool if chlorine was just a natural vampire repellent?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I felt like this episode was, it was overall pretty entertaining. I mean, like, yeah, the placement of it was a little awkward. I know they don't usually, put a lot of big, episodes right next to each other. But it's like, yeah, especially just imagining the episode that came before this one. And then we know that we're about to have the final two episodes that seem to be a part one and part two. It just felt like this episode, I guess it did feel kind of like a filler episode between all that. And then also it was another one where Angel just kind of popped up. Like they're just trying to remind us that he's around.
Yeah,
that he's evil.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems like they want to involve Angel in this, but it's so hard for them to do it without it just coming across as forcing his involvement. But
yeah.
But overall, I just feel like on its own, like disregarding like where it's taking place in the season and the weirdness with Angel and stuff like that, it still was a generally entertaining episode. I felt like I think I see why it's TV-14, given some of the stuff that they suggested.
The ripping out first, just the act of being ripped out of your own flesh to become some kind of monster to me is a little like enough to make it TV-14, but like then the steroid use, the weird kind of rapey bit where she was in the car like with him and he's all like he lost the doors.
Really?
Like, I was like, geez, they really went there.
Yeah. I need to go back and look at what other, because I've never, I guess, noticed before what the rating of the particular episode was. I know it goes back and forth between PG and 14, so I want to go back and see what some of the other episodes have been. But yeah, this episode was, I also felt like, the monster of the week, it wasn't like last week where it tied into things really well. It was just very standalone, but it was still good. It was kind of, twisty and whatnot. Like, it wasn't too predictable, I don't think. I mean, like, I kind of started remembering what was going to happen, like, as I was watching it, but did you feel like you were catching on to anything, or did it take you by surprise?
Um, when I found out the biggest surprise to me was finding out the steroids were in the steam the whole time. I thought that was pretty like, okay, this is a little like that kind of took me by left field. And then one thing that, not that it really took me by surprise, but one thing that I noticed that I wasn't really a big fan of the costumes for the monsters this week. Like, I'm not usually opposed to how they look, but they looked a little cheesy to me this week. They looked like I could just kind of tell. Not that I not I mean, I can always kind of tell it's a costume, but like this one just felt like an especially cheesy rendition of whatever they were trying to do.
Yeah, that's a fair point. They were kind of cheesy. I feel like a lot of these monsters, at least so far on the show, have looked cheesy. I guess maybe I just started thinking about it. I guess in this universe, this is just how monsters really look. So I'm like, okay, they just look like. I mean, I guess sometimes with suspension of disbelief, you're just like, okay, well, if monsters exist, I guess they look this cheesy and corny. So I don't know, but yeah, I know what you mean. They did look pretty cheesy, and it feels like a lot of these other things have looked cheesy. That's why I like it best when they don't really show it completely. Like
Yeah.
we just kind of see it, but I guess it is what it is. It was entertaining though when they slid away. Like after that fight, and they started sliding away.
They were really weird too. Like, I was kind of confused. Like, so did they just like screw Coach and leave?
See, that's what I'm confused about. I'm really that's a little weird to me because he was down there feeding them, talking about we got to get ready for the state championship. Like, what? Do you see them? They're not doing no state championship.
Yeah, really.
What league is sanctioning this? Like, he's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna be like, bring your team out. He's like, all right, boys, come on. He's gonna have a bunch of sea creatures walk out. Like, I don't understand what his plan was.
I really thought that Cordelia's like her little speech to the monster when she thought it was Xander. I thought it was funny, but it was kind of like it's kind of candid, Like, you could see that she really cared about him.
Yeah.
I think that that's an interesting way to show us how their relationship is going.
Yeah, that definitely did give us a little bit of confirmation, even though they are still constantly at each other's necks, that they actually do care about each other. At least Cordelia definitely cares about Xander because, yeah, that was really funny, but also very touching at the same time. But yeah, it does look like they just, violated the coach and then left.
Yeah, like, and I wouldn't have thought that had Buffy not had that one line. I guess they really love their coach.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have just cut to the next scene, I would have been like, oh, I guess coach is dead. But now I'm like, wow, they really did just bang coach like that.
I was thinking that too. What do you say?
I'm like, what? Like, what possessed the writers to go with like they could have they easily could have just killed him. I feel like I mean, I just want to know what was the decision behind that choice.
I guess they just wanted to, do something that people would not expect. Because I was thinking, okay, he just kind of suggested what they were gonna do to Buffy, and then he went down there. So I'm like, are they gonna do the same thing, or are they just gonna let us think they killed him? But then it's like, no, they still doing the same thing. So, okay.
It's crazy to me.
And I wonder how, obviously they weren't very conscious anymore of who they were, like, because they just, did that to their coach, and then they left.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were, like, themselves anymore anyway. Like, at the end of the day, those boys really did die. I don't know why they said, well, they didn't die. They just turned into monsters. Like, no, they like, I mean, they're not the same thing anymore.
Yeah, they're like, they have completely different minds at this point.
I mean, yeah, I don't even think, because their mind was probably destroyed when that thing ripped out of their body. Like, I think of that thing as just something that grew inside of them and ripped out. I don't think of those things as them at all. But, yeah, So some of that stuff definitely made this episode just pretty wild, and it's funny that they really, kind of went some of the places that they went. All right, well, that closes it for this episode, I guess. Moving forward, we're about to hit the last 2 episodes of the season. I'll probably ask you this again before the next episode, but just as we close this one, what do you hope we're about to see finishing this season off?
I'm ready to see what Spike's next moves are gonna be. What Angel, what his plans are, and how he's gonna contest with whatever Spike does. How Buffy's further descent into her own loneliness, and I guess really just watching all the other characters and relationships flourish and see what goes on with that.
Well, alrighty then. That's going to be it for today. Like the video if you liked it. Comment down below what you thought about the episode. Subscribe if you want to see more. Head to Patreon for full uncut reactions ahead of the YouTube schedule. And that's going to be it. So thank you all for watching and have a great life until the next video.